Hi, my name is Alyssa Chambers. This is Astrology and Makeup. I don't know why I just did it like that, but I'm going to do my makeup and we're going to talk about Capricorn today. I'm using a bunch of new products today, FYI. So, I don't know. The symbol for Capricorn is crazy looking. It's a circle with a line coming down and then a line coming up like a it's supposed to be a goat with a fish tail. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's the last earth sign in order of the zodiac. Pretty much everyone knows Capricorn for being the ones who try and get that money, which is true. Capricorns are hardworking and dedicated in every aspect of their life. If they care about it, they're doing it to the best of their possible ability, and if they don't, then they're not. Why waste your time? Capricorns are some of the most loyal and down people I have ever met. Until you cross them. I mean, just like anyone else, but even still, they give like so many chances. You have to be really messing up to lose a Capricorn. But for a Capricorn to lose you, that's a different story. Capricorns are so dedicated to their jobs or whatever it is that they want to pursue that they sometimes forget about others. Which sounds mean, but I mean, I find that a lot of Capricorns are all work and no play, so hopefully they have some other signs in their chart that make up for that. Some examples of some signs that would make up for that would be like a little bit of Sag, a little bit of Aquarius, a little bit of Gemini. Things that are also gonna work with that sign, but give you a little bit of more of like funny and like down to earth and more chill. The saying, though, that I've heard for Capricorns is basically, I will always love you. I've known some crazy relationships involving Capricorns where the Capricorn has absolutely done wrong, but has been done wrong. They like still stick around. What the heck? It like crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And in each of these instances, they weren't all necessarily boy or girl Capricorns. It was a mix. So, some of these instances I'm like, I think I'm pretty loyal, but like, I wouldn't have stayed. Like, that's how crazy. That's pretty crazy. I've let people get away with some like pretty crazy stuff. Capricorns are really down, loyal from what I've seen. Like too loyal. And they're out here trying to get that money. They're trying to take care of people. They're trying to live in luxury, and if you want to be a part of that, sometimes you just have to be okay with a little bit of distance. They can be very distant people. They're not necessarily good at communicating their emotions, especially if Capricorn is a lot of their chart. And since Mercury is usually about a planet, maybe 2 planets forward or behind, but usually not far off, you're gonna have not really good air sign qualities to work with. If they do have an air Mercury, it's not going to be Libra. It'll most likely be Aquarius, if that's even possible. But you're going to get probably passionate talking or watery talking. There's not going to be really an air sign there that's also good at communicating. You're going to have to rip a lot of stuff out of them and out of yourself if you're a Cap. Honestly, you should hope you found yourself a watery talking or passionate talking Capricorn, because they ain't gonna tell you nothing. They are not gonna tell you one single thing. You better hope they have a good moon. It's not their style. Capricorns can be taken as very stone cold, but I think it's just the way that they carry themselves seems that way. I think that things make them a lot more like upset than they would like to admit. They're not dead inside. That's really mean of people to assume that. Something I think that people need to realize about earth signs is just because they're not saying it doesn't mean that they're not thinking it. If anything, they're one of those signs that's like testing you to see what you'll do, or they just straight up just don't even care. Like in some things, it's so trivial to them. They got stuff to do. Capricorns and pretty much all of the earth signs are just out here trying to live in luxury and mind their own business. Did a Capricorn? I don't know what to tell you. Now let's talk about some placements. Capricorn is also your 10th house. So anything in your 10th house is going to be career, things that you're successful at, your status in life. So if you have certain aspects here, that should be what you're doing with your career. That would be best for you. For example, if you have a Sagittarius Venus, then you should probably be someone who's teaching or learning a lot. So a teacher, like if that's in your 10th house. Anything 10th house or Capricorn is kind of like almost all work and no play. And I feel like it gives a literal sense, like a bodied sense of the saying, if they wanted to, then they would. Because if they wanted to, then they would. Because if a Capricorn wants to, then they would. And anything in those houses and aspects, if they wanted to, then they would. I can't stress that enough. For most millennials, a lot of us, our Saturn and Neptune are both in Capricorn. So depending on where the houses are is important for each individual person. So our like dreams that we want to have and our stability is money. We're going to have problem with that. We're going to struggle with that depending on where it's at and how to combat that and how to get better from it. Should I make a whole video on career? I might make a whole video on like based on your career, what you should do with your life. That's because that's a lot. That's really heavy. So in conclusion, that's what we're doing now apparently. Capricorns are really hardworking. They get the job done. They get money like that. They want money. They'll find a way. And if they wanted to, then they would. Because if they wanted to, then they would. If you're dating a Capricorn and they don't seem to put any effort into your relationship, that's because they don't value you. And if they wanted to, then they would. Because if they wanted to, then they would. Thank you for watching. Check on your Capricorn friends because they're not going to tell you. That's the final notes from this. Check on your Capricorn friends because they're not going to tell you how they feel.